Good.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I hope everybody had a great 4th of July. I know I did. It was so nice to be out with people and celebrating our country. And I'm so glad. And the weather, how's everybody enjoying their summer so far? I hope everybody's having a great time and that. So, but we have an excellent guest today. Oh my God, she is so inspirational. And you know what? Get your friends over and watch us today because this lady is so inspiring and she's a very good friend of Debbie. So with that, Debbie, I'm going to have you introduce you to her.
Sounds great. I'm so excited. It's so fun that when we started this, Lori and I have been friends for such a long time, and we have touched so many different areas on what we've been doing here. And, it's great because our audience is so diverse, and we've been trying to bring on all different people that we've been touched by in our lives that we know can affect and help others. And I'm so excited to be able to bring on somebody that I call a very good friend of mine. Okay. I've known Cindy for, I can't even tell you how many years. It's at least 20-ish, if maybe 25 for all I know. We've been neighbors. We have children, around the same age. And Cindy has just been just a light of sunshine. Every time I see her, she's always smiling. It doesn't matter what we're doing. She's always got this gift of just contagious personality that's just really awesome. And she's so highly educated. She's so down to earth, though, when you're talking to her, but she's so highly educated. And she has an MBA in life coaching, and she has an MBA in all different things she'll explain to you. But what's cool about what she's got going on is that she's learned to take herself in an area of her life that she felt that she can make a couple quick changes and go and help others to help them make big, huge changes. And that's what I love about her. I love about how and I love about how she can make you feel so good about yourself while you're going through whatever you're going through, that you need to make a little tweak, figure out something that you've got to do and alter something. So with that, I just wanted to say, Cindy, we are so excited that you took time out of your schedule to be with us. And I just want to say, take it away. We'd love to hear everything you want to share.
Well, thanks, Debbie. I am so thrilled to be here, and I am blessed to call you friend and Lori friend as well.
Thank you.
So thanks for giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about me being a life coach, because life coaching has brought me many blessings, but in reality, the life coach is to help somebody unlock their potential in life. We all have struggles and we all have victories, right, with our lives that are going on. And so what I found life coaching when I was working and an owner of Oak Brook Racket and Fitness Club. And some of my employees would come to me with problems and say, my daughter's cutting herself, or my husband's drinking. And I would work really, really hard to help them find the right program for alcohol, or when you looked at like cutting themselves. Boy, here's a program that your daughter could really benefit from. So what happened was I would give them that information, and then I checked back with them later and they wouldn't be in the program, or they wouldn't have gone. And I started wondering why. And it was because I tried to find the solution for them instead of them looking at themselves and digging deep and figuring out, how can we as a family, or how can I as a person solve this problem? So then I did some research and I found out about life coaching, and it helps people clarify what's going on in their life. What problems do they have? How can they move forward and come up with a solution that helps them become the best person they want to be, to find their own passion and purpose in life? So that's what I did. I got a certification in life coaching from IPEC. And I've been a life coach now for almost 15 years.
Wow.
That's amazing. Well, and I know we're going to talk a little bit about, like, we have some questions for you, but I do know one thing, that you have a big website that's going to be launched, and we're real excited about that because we want to be able to help you post that and let our listeners and our social media know. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I certainly can. Just recently, I rebranded, and my last name is Stark. And so my new name of my company is Stark Insights. And it's really helping people dig deep and find their own insights into their own lives or their own business, because I do business consulting and life coaching, and help them find their own true potential. So Stark Insights. And if somebody wants to reach me right now, you can reach me at cindyhstark@gmail.com.
And we'll make sure that you can add that onto the comments at the bottom of this post when we post this,
Okay.
because we will be posting this on, we'll go on, it's on Facebook Live right now. It's being recorded. It's going to go on my YouTube, and we'll make sure that people can get a hold of you. Well, I have a couple questions. Okay.
Okay,
And
let's
here's the
go.
crazy thing. As we all know, we've all been different places now, different things that we've had to deal with. And, a lot of people are like thinking like, oh my goodness, I can't go back to what I was doing. I've been a stay-at-home
Right.
mom for many years. I don't know. I don't have skills anymore. I don't know how to do all this new, online stuff. It's all Greek to me or whatever. How do you guide and lead somebody to actually kind of start over, really?
That's a great question. I often get women that have stayed home with their kids and they say, I haven't worked. And I said, let's reframe that. Let's say you have worked, but really your work was raising your children, being an asset to your community, right? And taking care of your wonderful family. Now let's talk about, where do you want to go? And I ask them all kinds of questions like, what are you passionate about? What do you love doing with your life? What's a dream you've had for yourself? How have you lost track of time when you're doing an activity? And then people will say, well, I love to play tennis, or I'm really into health and fitness. But I've never pursued that. I was an engineer. And so then they say, but I'd love to work in a health club, or I'd really enjoy working in a doctor's office. So then we talk about, how do you set goals for that? What kind of education might you need in order to achieve that goal? And then they work through what they're passionate about and set what are called SMART goals around it. And SMART means specific, measurable, achievable, results oriented, and time oriented. And then each week or every other week, depending upon how often they see me, we go over those SMART goals and see how they're achieving them. So it's really fun. And what would they learn is they really do have goals. They really do have skills. They just maybe haven't used them in a while, but they've got their brain.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I have one other question, and then I'm going to turn it to Lori, because I know Lori's got some questions too. But I have one that hits home to a lot of people, and I know this very well. I'll be honest with you, is that someone had said to me, well, I have a 50-year-old husband who actually got laid off, and he has to rebrand himself, and he has to start over, and they're scared. They don't think they're marketable. They don't think they can do this. And my whole take on it is, yeah, you can. I know that you have a take on it. What would you tell that person, that wife, or that gentleman that may come to you? Because it's not only just women that are going to see you.
Well, a lot of times people are afraid to ask for help. And in particular, men can often be afraid to say, I'm at this point and I don't know quite how I got here, but here I am. And then we just sit down and we talk, and we start with, what did you love about your career? Right? And then we talk about the emotional toll of being laid off, because a lot of guys don't have a soft place to fall, right? Where they can tell someone, this really hurt. I thought I was going to spend the rest of my career here with this company, and I gave them my career and I got laid off. And it may not be, the company may be hitting hard times, or it may be that they restructured. So one of the things that we do is we allow that person a chance to grieve being laid off and not being needed in that organization anymore. And then we move forward, and then we say, what kind of opportunities can this provide you? Right? And it may be that they were in that company or in that job for a long time, and they did it because it provided for their family, or maybe they did get some personal satisfaction about it. So what I do is sit down and say, what are your values, right? Where do you want to go with your life? And sometimes it's hard to figure that out, and we work through it, and we use some different worksheets and different techniques to get them there. But what's really exciting is I just had a client, and he had been out of the workforce for several years, thinking that he was never going to find another job. And I said, so what are you passionate about? And he said, I'm really passionate about helping small businesses grow their company. And I said, that's great. Let's talk about how you can achieve that goal. And so we spent a long time figuring out what type of industry he'd like to be in, how he would want, and he decided he wanted to be a chief operating officer. And he found a small business and he moved forward. And it was so exciting because he came back to me and said, I thought I'd have to go back and do what I did before. And what I learned is I can grow and have a new iteration on my life. So that was so exciting to see.
Oh,
him do that.
yeah,
That's awesome. Laura, I know you've got some questions too.
I do. And Cindy, I'm going to keep saying you're amazing because I just
Thank you.
love your personality. What is the difference between a therapist and a life coach?
Oh my goodness, Lori, I get that all the time.
Do you really?
So, yeah, therapy is often called counseling or psychotherapy. And it's a really long-term process where they are highly trained, usually have a master's or PhD, and they help to resolve problematic behaviors and belief systems. And it's often focusing on past traumas or issues that led you to the issues that you're dealing with right now. And so you often work through painful feelings. Oftentimes, therapists and life coaches can work in conjunction with each other because I'm not a healthcare professional. I am a certified life coach that helps people clarify their goals and identify the obstacles that they have in reaching their goals and maybe why they can't create action plans. They might be depressed, or they might have difficult situation with parents or husbands or whatever it is. So we often want to do the same thing, which is create a person living with their passion and purpose and create a healthy life for themselves and create the potential they want, but we go about it in different ways.
Wow, that's great. I never knew that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have another question. We're all at the age, I mean, Debbie and I were at the age where people are starting to think about retirement, and they're confused about what they're going to do after they retire, and to make that leap, because a lot of people are afraid to make that leap to retire because they
Right.
don't know what they're going to do afterwards and stuff. Do you coach people with that? Is that something that you would do?
I absolutely do. When I started out my career, believe it or not, I was a banker, right?
Wow.
So learning about the value of money and compounding and how are your assets. I am not a financial planner. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
But I work with people to say, what is it you want to do in retirement? And there's two sides to retirement. There's the business side of retirement, which is, do I have enough money and where will I live and how much will it cost me and what happens if I get sick? And then there's the personal side. How will I grow emotionally, right? Spiritually, physically. And so we take a look at what I call a life wheel. There's so many components to a life wheel: your education, your parenting style, your health, your education. Oh, I said that all right. But all these different aspects of the life wheel. And we can take that apart and say, let's look at each piece of that. And what do you want in retirement? How might you want to move forward? Who might your friends be? Would you like to live in a community? Would you like to live in a home? What happens when you get ill? How might you look at that? How might you plan for it? So we work through that piece by piece. And what you see, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. You do the corner pieces and you do the straight lines, and then you start filling in the middle. And that's what we're doing. One of those corner pieces may be where you live. Another corner piece might be, who do you continue to bond with? Who do you want in your life, in your relationships? Another piece might be spiritually, what would you like to achieve? So I work with the client and meet them where they are and where they want to go.
Wow. Okay. Sounds great. That is amazing. How about, a lot of people, I have a friend who's having issues with their parents, their elderly parents. And, they need help with that because they're just not quite sure how they're going to handle it. Do you work with people like that too?
I certainly do. And what's really interesting, aren't we kind of like the filling in an Oreo cookie, right?
Yeah.
One chocolate wafer is our kids and maybe our husbands and other family members. And then the other chocolate wafer may be your parents, your elderly parents who need a lot of help. And so we're that little white filling that gets squished around, right? And so what's really important is I have a client right now who's trying to deal with that. Her parents live with her and it's affecting her relationship with her husband and kids. So we talk a lot about what boundaries do you want to set? How do you get other family members, if you have siblings, how do you get them involved? And then what are the things that you want to look back on and say, this is how I came to my relationship with my parents. And what often happens with elderly parents is you become the caregiver, you become the nurse, right? And instead, what you want to be is the daughter or son to them. So how can you use resources that are out there that can allow other people to be the caregiver, to allow other people so that you can enjoy your parent-child relationship? And so rather than flipping it, where all of a sudden you become the parent and they become the child, we can work to get you on an adult to adult relationship.
Wow. I think people that would talk to you and that would feel their inner strength to do what they need to do to move on. I think you will give that, from what I'm gathering and talking to you, you would inspire people that they have the strength within themselves to do what they need to do. And that's amazing.
Well, oftentimes people deal with their parents from a place of duty and a place of feeling guilty, when in reality, you want them to deal with their parents from a place of love and compassion, and also bring your best self to the relationship. And if you're giving everything to the relationship with your parents and you aren't taking time for yourself and you aren't taking time maybe for your significant other or your kids, you find that you aren't bringing your best self to that relationship. So really setting boundaries in that type of situation is really, really important.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Debbie, you have any questions? Any more questions?
I don't have a question, but I definitely have something to say. And I think this is the coolest thing to observe, is that I think that in our era, okay, I think we're recognizing more that it is okay to seek counsel of some sort. Okay. It used to be, I got this, I can do this. I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't need the help. And actually, as you're talking here, I'm thinking to myself, wow, there are so many listeners out here that every single thing that we've touched on, and this isn't all that Cindy, you handle in your, your coaching. We know that, but these are some very big subjects that there's so many of us out there that have at least a few of those. And it's okay to get the help, in fact, do that, because why not be the best, like in our health and wellness here that we do this, we talk about being the best version of yourself. Well, you can't be the best version of yourself if you've got a broken part of you. If you're not, if you got breakdown in the system, you're just going to be a mess. And what are you going to create around you? It's not a happy environment.
What's very interesting about that too, is you may not be broken. It may be that you just want to unlock more of your potential. And what's really interesting is I have a background in business. I've been an entrepreneur and I worked in banking. So I do a lot of coaching with business clients. So I help them increase their revenue, help them figure out what kind of culture do they want to have? How do they want to strategically envision the future of their organization? And how do they want to keep and retain the really top employees and team members? So what's really fun is I'm coached every single week on how do I want to grow my business? How do I want to bring myself into this world? And I'm a life coach. And so I have my own coach. And a coach is really just that person that helps hold you accountable and helps you bring yourself forward in this world.
You just hit on like the whole aspect of team bonding in the workplace, and how like workplace, like, upper management and stuff to grow their team. You are the perfect person to be able to go in there and bring them that positive, and stuff. So, but we're just so excited you're able to join us today. I don't have any other questions. I just want to make a comment that I feel so blessed, first of all, to have you as a friend, but I feel so blessed that you're able to do this. It took us a while to get you on here. here to get the right timing, because I know you're so busy, and we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing. We really want to make mention that you really keep us informed. Make sure that you're posting on our page here, letting us know what you've got going on. And we really encourage everybody that is part of this. We also encourage everybody to, refer us out and say, check out our page, for the health and wellness of you, because you know what, there's so many people out there that could use a friend, could use, that uplifting situation or the topic or subject that we've touched in all arenas and stuff. So with that, Laura, I'm going to let you close us out, and thank you again.
Sounds great. Cindy, we're so thankful for you to be on here today. I hope everybody listens to this and gets all excited, because you bring hope to people, and we need hope right now.
Amen.
So with
Amen.
that, we're going to say, have a great Wednesday. Enjoy the beautiful weather. Enjoy your family, and just rejoice in how everything is working out in this world right now.
Thank you so much,
Amen.
ladies.
All right. You have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.